He awoke to a strange sound coming from the attic. What? I got stamped? As he climbed the stairs, he felt something. A kid feeling something is never a good option. Nathan Sanders present. Are they related to Bernie Sanders? Haha. I'm so funny. Midnight Evil. Yay, roll credits, okay. Okay, it was a fun game. Nighty night everyone, bye. Huh? What's going... wait, there's so many things going on. Otori. Saws. I have a stoplight in my room. This is like what Hollywood thinks young boys like in their rooms. Okay, what's with the stars? Why only this section? What, my parents ran out of money with all the stars they had to install? Preface. What's with this weird...
Long before the first humans stood upright and took their place in the world, ruled by what many would come to call the Fae. These...
Oh, I get it, I get it, I get it.
Most were harmless enough, amusing themselves by causing mischief and playing pranks on humans that crossed their paths. However, some had more sinister intentions. The Urkling, for example, have developed a liking for the taste of human children.
The Urkling. I'm laughing because it's a 90s reference.
Monsters are... We have lost so many of our children over this past year. There aren't enough tears in this world to weep for their loss.
Am I one of them?
Only hide it and pray that it never falls into the hands of a child.
Wah, wah, wah.
Hello, darkness. My name is Nick Gloom. It's just me tonight. As you guys know, we answer game questions and talk tips and tricks. Well, Nate usually does. I don't really play most of those games.
I'm wondering, how do I beat the final boss in Terminator Destruction?
How would I know that?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm stuck here working for crap money. I still can't afford to buy new Otori games. Would you like me to page Nate?
I don't
Here's
know.
the thing. Like I said, I'm working here. I don't usually come on the radio. I don't have as much of a bedside manner as Nate does. But it's totally fine. I bought a new OBasic book, which is the programming language for Otori, since I can't afford to buy my own Otori games, and I'm working on my own homebrew game. The pending title is Evil Midnight, where I'm not sure what you're going to have to do yet, but I think it's going to be a horror game, and it's going to be at nighttime, and it's going to be evil. Basically, you would do something all night. It's kind of like working here. I try to keep my head down all night, but Janet asks me to go on the air. The more stuff I get asked to do, the more I get anxious and panic. It's a vicious cycle.
Is this some kind of life lesson? I just want to play Terminator.
Here's the thing.
Who invited Joe Rogan?
As they all searched high and low, they soon realized that Maggie was missing. Frantically, they began searching for their friend.
I don't like this new episode of The Simpsons.
She was a small girl who loved to play hide and seek. The sun sank low in the sky and the forest grew dark. The children...
Sorry, what?
desperately as we all inspected every corner of those woods in hopes of finding her. Her brother kept searching, tears streaming down his cheeks.
I'm her big brother.
Well, that's not a good way, is it? If there are tears in your eyes and you can't find your sister, you won't be able to see. Oh no, if they kill me, will I need to restart the book? Okay, I need to be on the guard, I can't die.
We'll find her soon, and she'll be no worse for the wear. Or rather, what was left of her, which wasn't much.
They're like middle-aged Furbies who like had a midlife crisis.
Her father plucked the pink ribbon from the body and fell to his knees, wailing into the darkness.
Why does my character have a heart attack? Because a middle-aged old man is about to lose his hair on me.
She said that our druid ancestors spoke of tiny creatures that lived long ago in the swamps and marshes surrounding our lands. The Urklings, she called them.
I like how he just stood there with his hands in front of him patiently.
Surely the boy's mind was playing tricks on him. Besides, the Urklings weren't real. They couldn't be. Maggie O'Brien's funeral was just what anyone would expect. Everyone did their...
You left the window open. By the way, what a lazy kid. He doesn't want to close the window, huh?
Everyone did their best to comfort the grieving parents. Colin kept to himself.
Okay, stop gurgling.
Colin kept to himself. Everyone assumed it was because he blamed himself.
I like to imagine he ran by, hit his head on the wall, and fell down. Sorry, not the wall, the door.
My heart ached as I put my arms around the boy. I kept telling myself that seeing his little sister in pieces couldn't have been easy for him.
Yeah, no kidding. I like the expectations out of a little boy. Apparently, they're supposed to be like Navy SEAL commandos. They see a dead body and recover.
The green ones had round bellies and piercing blue eyes. She said they could be heard if you walked deep in the swamp at night.
I like how they sound like pugs, barely surviving, just having a very hard time breathing.
They would laugh, and it was even thought by some that they were only red because they were stained by the blood of their victims.
So hardcore.
Fiery. The pale Urklings were in another class altogether.
Of course, the white ones are the best.
They had white skin and wild, untamed blue hair that flowed out in every direction.
Am I reading someone's fanfiction about gremlins? Why were those described as being sexy?
Urklings preferred to eat after midnight and would only attack if the child didn't make direct eye contact with them.
That's their greatness, weakness. Then how did they survive up till now? I mean, okay, so you just look at them and they can't kill you.
The whole village breathed a sigh of relief, and a big celebration was held.
He was giving me the stinky eye.
He believed the creatures that killed Maggie were still out there, waiting.
Don't kill me, I'm in the middle of a chapter. Did you drop my pen?
Welcome to the top of the hour. Again, I'm your host, Nick Gloom, filling in for Nate tonight. I don't know, Janet, I feel like these kids don't like me. Hey, Janet, do you like me?
Aw.
And she's walking away, folks. Anyway, caller, you're on the air.
What were you hoping for exactly?
Calling in, wanted to say that you suck.
I just had a feeling that that was coming. Oh yeah, so anyway, I forgot there's a sponsor slot I was supposed to fill last hour. This one goes out to all you greasy, pizza-faced listeners. Are you tired of popping pimples? Ew, gross. Do some zits appear over and over and you have to keep popping them? Gross. Kind of like that popular video game, Mole Whacker? From the creators of Simple Pimple comes the revolutionary cream, Pimple Buster. The all-in-one, scientifically formulated pimple-destroying cream. Call 155-PIM-PLES. Something to keep the player on their toes. Or at least that last prank caller could drink some of that Pimple Buster. I don't know what it is.
What a stand-up comedian. Still better than E3. What? E.T. didn't have pimple busters? Busting them pimples? So I don't think they attack until I finish. Well, not I. I mean, I'm a kid with a very smooth, gravelly voice, I have to say.
The earth on the grave was disturbed, as if something had clawed its way out. I swallowed hard, started to deny it, but the words caught in my throat, and as much as I tried, I couldn't lie.
I like how they just shrink. I make them feel so small.
I called her name over and over. She didn't answer. Then I heard something. It sounded like chewing. I took a few more steps and I saw her laying there, all
They're like punk trolls. So is this game sponsored by Universal? Is this troll approved?
all over her with these fat little green monsters.
He was no more than 11 or 12, having just lost his sister and now his friend.
Oh. Are you okay? Sir? Dobby's here for my socks. Dobby's having a very hard time lifting his head. Dobby, are you okay? I guess that's what happens when you're a head rocker. Are you just gonna stay there? You know I can see you, right? Just because you can't see me.
No one had believed him when he tried to tell us before.
I guess his hair is stuck. He had too much gel in his hair, it got stuck in the wall.
It couldn't have been easy, but he opened up to me.
This guy's terrifying me. I'm gonna have to restart the entire chapter, I think, if I die from this stupid
I
guy.
felt it only right that I tell him what I knew. There hadn't mentioned was how to get rid of them.
Can you get out my socks drawer, Dobby?
Looking into the flames, I got an idea. I knew that most unholy creatures were repelled by fire.
Okay, I think setting fire to my entire house is a little bit excessive.
Well,
Colin folded his arms.
we would just have to test what happens to an earthling when it's on fire.
Oh, the kid has swag. Yeah, flip page. Flip page. Pageus flippus. Imagine the narrative's voice gets more irritated as I stop mid-sentence every time. Oh no, I think I broke the game.
Approached me afterwards, asking what I was looking for. I told him it was nothing, but he knew better.
Go away, balding old man.
You believe me about the monsters, don't you?
His young face as determined as he spoke.
Did you drop yourself?
You're the only one that doesn't look at me like I'm crazy.
I swallowed hard, started to deny it, but the words caught in my throat, and as much as I tried, I couldn't lie. Listen, I put my hands on his shoulders. His nerve.
It was so dark, but I had a good torch. I called her name over and over. She didn't answer. Then
Go away, punk. Go away, punk. Go away, punk. Wow, an entire village of punks in my house.
Then I heard something. It sounded like chewing. I took a few.
Can a bitch finish a sentence without getting disturbed?
I took a few more steps and I saw her laying there.
Honey, did you hear that? No, go back to sleep. It's just the Urklings after Billy again.
He agreed and kept my secret.
Go away, old man.
Surely this would send it screaming to the underworld.
Are you in the toilet?
He sat quietly in his bed and waited. knowing he mustn't look them in the eye. He must.
Who played the maracas?
Sure enough, one of them leapt from his bookshelf and sank its teeth into the flesh of his arm.
Come on, I know there's one more. Don't pretend, you little bitches. I can smell the bitch in here.
It tore a tiny round chunk from his arm and gulped it down just as Colin shoved a candle right into its face.
Whoa, this 12-year-old kid is like having a Doomslayer episode with all these little bald men.
His parents soon joined him outside in a panic, trying to figure out what had happened.
The kid just set the entire house on fire.
Trying to put out the fire inside the house, and others were tending to Colin's arm, telling him that it must have been a rat.
How many weekends do you think they spent recording those not the voice lines for the book, but for the monsters?
He knew everyone finally saw that he had been telling the truth all along, and they all felt terribly ashamed for not believing him in the first place.
I like how they tried to make you feel bad. Well, not you, but like the villagers for not believing the kid in monsters. It's like you know, it's like someone coming to me and saying, "Oh, there's ghosts in my house," and of course I'm going to be like, "No, there isn't. Why should I feel ashamed if we find out later on that there were ghosts and I didn't believe you? How about we find a solution to the ghost instead?"
Sorry about those technical issues we experienced last hour. I think Janet might have fallen asleep. We were having an interesting discussion about game difficulty and learning curves. Nate likes Dragons and Dungeons, but apparently I'm dumb for thinking it's too difficult. Kinda like my work in progress, Evil Midnight. Which, as I mentioned earlier, if you weren't around, is going to be more of a horror game. Grooming them up to expect one thing, and then yank the rug out, so to speak. Anyway, I'm rambling. Hello, caller, you're on Game Talk.
And they just gave up.
Very funny, guys. Caller, you're on Game Talk.
Oh no. He got the deads.
First, we tried drowning it. We even had the
Who just rang the maracas again?
priest bring us holy water when water from the well didn't work.
Oh, the white... Are those Sonic? Those are Sonics.
We cut off its head, but as soon as we snipped its neck, the head grew a new body, and the body grew a new head. Then we had 2 angry Erklings in jars.
So these are the Gremlins.
It was immune to every kind of poison that we knew of.
Sir, I think the door is closed.
It could heal quickly from any cuts it sustained. We even tried squashing it flat, but it would just puff back up in a matter of a few minutes.
Invincible assholes.
By this point, the Erklings had infested every corner of the village. Parents had to stand guard over their sleeping children. Between the stroke of midnight and the first light of dawn, they became absolutely ravenous. It appeared that there was nothing else we could do. As much
Why don't you guys just make a giant metal room and put all your children in every night? I don't know what I'm talking about.
I hated the thought of disturbing my grandmother. I knew that she was the only one that might be able to give me any insight as to how I could get rid of them.
Or just make more children.
I brought grandmother's old spirit board with me, which had every letter of the alphabet on it.
Isn't that how spirit boards work? It'll be a really shitty spirit board if you don't have all the letters of the alphabet on it. Can you imagine if your name is like Annie and there's no N's? So it's like I.
Grandmother? I spoke aloud.
Okay, beat it. How many? Wow, that was 5 in a row. My god.
I really need your help, student. I could have spared my people so much misery and death.
Did someone flush the toilet? Thank you.
Eventually, I drifted off to sleep. It was only then that my grandmother finally came to me in a dream and told me what I must do if I wanted to rid the village of the Earthlings once and for all.
Almost had me there with the shadow. Good for you. Why is my candle out? Why is a lot of my light out?
I continued cautiously, unsure of what to expect when I entered the clearing. As I came closer, I could see people dancing around the fire. A beautiful woman stood with her hands outstretched towards the sky.
I hope that wasn't your grandmother, otherwise we have a Back to the Future situation.
It took a moment before I recognized her.
It was the grandmother, wow.
Grandmother? Is that you?
Grandmother thinks very highly of herself in the dreams. Oh, beautiful and young.
What is this place? I asked, looking around.
Is that what you sounded like when you were younger? How young were you?
This is where all of our people go when their time on Earth ends.
Can I stay here with you?
Wow, dude, we horny, huh? Oh, we thirsty? That's your grandmother, you son of a bitch.
I could see the sorrow in her eyes as she put a sympathetic hand on my cheek.
This reads like fan fiction gone wrong.
You mean?
If you wish to trap them, your immortal soul will be lost forever. Do you understand?
What is this orgy?
I don't make the rules, my dear. I can only
Are you okay? Did you heave?
tell you the way things are.
Go away, little racist.
I told him that I knew how to end the Earthling's reign of darkness, but that I would need his help. I didn't tell him what was about to happen. I couldn't find the courage.
Can you stop dropping things in my house? Thank you.
Not to mention that it was sealing my fate.
Yeah, look at the monsters and I scared them off with my beautiful face.
His eyes rolled back and he fell into a deep, dreamless sleep.
Where all the punks at? Where little bitch-ass pussy punks at? Okay, I got them all.
When he woke, he found himself bound with rope and blindfolded.
Did you just sacrifice the kid's soul?
Vision is fading. I can hear the others coming. I keep telling Colin not to be afraid, that it will all be over soon.
You little punks.
After we eat him, we will all be trapped in the book. His screams will be the last thing I hear. Please forgive me, for I can never forgive myself.
Sun rose and William Crinkle was safe. Moles go oh. Okay, G2G. Impulse Game Studios. Huh? Well, 1.21 gigabytes? What? Why? 4K textures, 4K textures, 2K textures, 4K textures, 2K textures, 4K textures. Hands are 2K. 2K, 2K. Oh, we went to 1K. Actually, I shouldn't be that offended, should I? Considering the other one, that's 20K. The Lancashire Witches. When was this even available? What, were there secrets in the game? What's with the half-torn pillow? What, someone threw a pillow away? The game from yesterday that was like 20 gigabytes? Oh, this is why this game is so big, because they have high-resolution rotating graphics that are not rotating. Why not simply have a video instead of a bunch of pictures? I'm sorry, how many pictures was that? That was a lot of pictures. This one is 1.20 gigabytes. So 1 gig. War Stars. Who is this? The streamers? Tori. Uh-oh, what did I just see? Is this the developer? The Chad? Oh yeah, the doll at the... Never mind. Pennsylvania, pants. Whose pants are... These are pants, not cubes. I don't know what they're called, cubes. They got a pic of me. Okay, there we go. The Chads are here. There we go, the little Chadlings. The mini Giga Chads. Who depressed Chad? Happy Chad. The rest are 1K. Okay, where are the models? Is that it? These are the only models? Those are Chad Howard Toddler. What the fuck is this? Alright, the little knights. Tank. The developer had more hopes and dreams of a different game. And then they had to do anime. I bet all these models also belong to another project.